Hey gang, on this one we're going to talk about understanding your target buyer, which is also called your avatar, which is why I'm wearing a blue shirt. Stick with me. Let's talk about it. Okay, so today we're going to talk about your avatar, which is a cool, modern, trendy word for your ideal buyer. And it's so important for you to understand this because when you're writing your copywriting, and I've done several videos on this, so if you haven't watched them, go on back down into the channel there and take a look at some cool stuff that we've done on copywriting, which is so important. But when you're copywriting, you got to understand your buyer or your avatar, the person that is your ideal customer. And you need to know them in a way like you would know a close family member. You really have got to understand this person. And the more that you deepen your understanding of your ideal buyer, the better you'll be able to write to them, for them, and frankly, the better off you'll be in serving them. Right? You'll just be better the more you know them. So it is worth your time to dive into really identifying who that avatar is. And you may have a couple of projects or a couple of different products or a couple of different businesses. And each one of those might have a different avatar that you need to work on. But for today's discussion, let's talk about most of us who might have like one and or two different types of customers that are ideal, and talk about some of the things we need to know about them. So we don't need, I think it goes without saying, we kind of want to know the demographics, right? Like they're 20 to 40, female, single, and, they like puppies and walks on the beach or whatever. I don't know. There's this demographic stuff, but that's like the surface information. You got to get down into what that person's struggles are, their fears are, their desires and goals are, what's driving them, where they hesitate, their concerns, those deeper things. You've got to really start to try to unravel that stuff. And when you start to unravel the kind of emotional treasure chest of your ideal buyer, you're going to be able to really tap into all of that in your selling, copywriting, and the entire sales process and how you work with those people. The object, of course, is that those folks feel deeply understood by you and validated, and therefore engaged in doing business with you in a way that they will never engage another person, right? So in doing all this and really, going through that process of writing out the whole avatar, and I would encourage you to do a sheet and write a story about them and how they got to where they are and all these other things, and try to what we call put flesh on the bone as much as possible with this, because it'll drive everything you do in your marketing, right? You'll go from the bottom up and everything will make sense because it'll all be pointed at this person that you want to do business with. But you don't have a target like that, like a really laser crosshairs target. Everything just kind of seems vague and foggy. And the problem with that is that no one really responds to that because it's not really for any one person. It's just too open. So it doesn't really trigger with anybody any sort of meaningful response. So if your marketing in general is just kind of falling flat, this is probably where you need to take 2 steps back and figure out who the heck you're talking to, and then go back to your marketing collateral and whatever the heck it is that you got out there that your hope is bringing you business, and refashion it for this ideal customer. So go ahead and go through the process, give the person a name, figure out who they are. And that would include demographics, but also everything that I just discussed, like go deep and excavate the emotional treasure that these folks are holding that will deepen your understanding and therefore give you the tools you need to engage and sell to them. Go ahead and like this video for me. I would much appreciate it, and subscribe to the channel so we can see you on the next one. And figure out your avatar. Maybe buy a blue shirt. Might help. It's helping. See you in the next one.